Hello, wealthy family, and welcome to today's video. Thank you so much for coming and sharing some time with me. I love and appreciate you all. So I'm in the car because I went and I said, let me run some errands before it starts to rain, before it gets too late. I pull up to my first destination and he's asleep. And I'm like, how is you sleep? Because I just turned around and looked and you were awake, but you're asleep. So I just turned around and came back home. I was like, whatever. So we'll just do it tomorrow. But yes, I wanted to talk to you all about, getting out your own way. Getting out your own way, whether because you're afraid of, failure, or you're afraid of, am I good enough? You may be like comparing yourself, right? Putting yourself in a mental competition with people that don't even know that you freaking exist, but you're comparing yourself to where they are, what they do, and things of that nature. Like, allow yourself the room in your own life to be great. Allow the room in your own life to experience the magic. Like, I told you all, my husband was home for the weekend, and we had, we're talking, we joke about things a lot. We do a lot of joking. But like, I remind him in every joke, there's a little bit of truth. But I told him, I was like, I feel like a lot of things that I manifest, right? And I say manifest because I'm just really materializing. I'm putting these things out into the ethers about what it is that I want, and then they come to fruition. Beautiful butterfly. I'm looking at the shadow. I'm like, what is this? This is a butterfly, right? Reminding me beautiful transformation energy. But yeah, I told him, I feel like a lot of my manifestations, a lot of things that I want to experience, I put it out there, and then it comes to me through him, right? Whether it's because he's more, more open, more ready to receive. Sometimes he's a little bit more in the flow, or, sometimes it's just because he's a little bit more ancient than me. He's a little bit more ancient than me. He has a couple thousand years on my soul, but I'm still pretty freaking ancient myself, right? But I was like, I don't care if you win, because when you win, I win. Like, we are the same. We're a unit. We're together. But I know not everybody has that type of partnership. Not everybody has that type of, thought process or experience in their life. And if you're afraid to do certain things, if you're afraid to start making videos, if you're afraid to put your content into a podcast, if you're afraid to write the book, if you don't think your music is good enough, if you're afraid to, start off on something on the side through your job because, you feel like the field is oversaturated, or you feel that, you don't have the experience, or you've never accomplished anything on your own. Like, get out your own way. Get out of the box. Stop talking yourself out of the divine inspiration that you receive. Every single time you talk yourself out of the divine inspiration, every time you succumb to your physical human needs instead of feeding that spiritual niche that's like, we should go do this. We should go do this. I know it seems wild and crazy, but we should go do this. Every single time you're like, no. Every time you do that, you become further and further and further away from your divinity. You come further and further and further away from the things that you deserve, right? So, like, just be kind to yourself. I could be like, oh, my video only got 30 views. I'm not going to do that. But no, in my world, in my delusional world, I'm like, YouTube doesn't really want to show how many views I really got, right? Because it doesn't want to inflate my ego. But I know I get like thousands of views, right? Every time I sit down and I do these videos, I do it with in mind of thousands of people hearing my message. Like, I don't care what the numbers say on this shit. You know what I'm saying? Even if it just showed that my videos got 1 view, I don't care, because I know that there's one other person that is in sync with me, that taps into what it is that I tap into, right? It gives me the encouragement. I know that there's people like actually literally waiting on me, like literally waiting to hear what it is that I have to say, because it's going to affect them in some way in their life, whether it's a form of encouragement or, you know, or it's a confirmation for them, whatever the case may be. I know that they're actually literally waiting on me. So why would I sit here and psych myself out of the divine movement or the divine inspiration that I have? I literally just texted someone this morning and was like, hey, I know this may sound crazy, but if you feeling energy on your right side and, you know, like not the right whole side of your body, but like literally right side of their body and their torso, you know, it's not actual physical pain. You don't need to go to the hospital. It's just some energy you're picking up from so-and-so. You need to go massage, swim, yoga, ground, whatever, to get it out of you. And they were like, yeah, literally I felt it, and I wasn't sure if it was something I did or whatever the case may be, and it was manifesting physically. Like, I know I'm on. So I don't care whether or not the algorithm validates this or not. And I don't care if, you know, certain people want to tell me that, is it Yaya? Black Witch Yaya, I believe, you know, has more things going on or does these things differently. It doesn't matter, because me, as an infant goddess, the way how I operate, the way how I move is in my own authentic nature. So somebody else may have, you know, something similar, but they are not me. And that's the same for you, right? Don't be like, I can't put that song out. I can't put this poem out. No one's into this. No, even if it's just one other person that's resonating with you, that is, you know, raising the spark of, that is elevating the spark of joy, that's elevating the spark of happiness, of community, of harmony. Okay? So like, stop comparing yourself. Don't put yourself in competition. Stop talking yourself out of divine alignment. Every time that you hear something that kind of stirs you the wrong way, whether it's a trigger or a trauma or just a light bulb, like whatever it is that's coming through, recognize it as a sign for you to get going, because this is a time to be in your divine purpose. And if you're watching this when I'm uploading it, which is Thursday, June 12th, around the energy of the full moon in the sign of Sagittarius, and tomorrow is Friday the 13th, divine energy, divine feminine energy, like it's the time to nurture that aspect of you, your creative juices. It's time to get your creative juices going. It's time to get yourself into a flow of creativity. It's time to get into a space of clarity, meaning sometimes you may have to purge some things. You may need to yell, you may need to cry, you may need to throw things, you may need to do yoga, you may need to ground. Like, it's a time of purging energy, because the full moon brings things full throttle. But I promise you that when you move in your authenticity and you stop counting yourself out and talking yourself out of certain things, you will become validated and vindicated, whether it's someone coming and doing it for you, or you hearing it through the grapevine, or you just having an epiphany, or maybe you see something on TV. But you will get your vindication. You will get your validation. You will get it just by moving in your authenticity, just by moving in your heart. Okay? So that is that. That's all that I have for you all. I love you all. I just want to share that with you all. I'm going to go in the house with this baby and probably sit down and watch Law and Order. By the way, if you are on my website, I already got 2 emails, so there's only 1 spot left. But if you're on my website, if you get my email blogs, go and check your email, because I'm doing a giveaway if you're interested in a reading. Okay, so that is that, wealthy family. I love you all. I appreciate you all. And until we connect again, stay alert, stay aware, and live in love.